Hey everybody, Dallas again with Chaos Fragrances. Today we're back with another weekly fragrance rotation video. We're up to video number 21 now, and as always I'm going to be telling you the fragrances that I've worn for the past week. I don't want to waste too much of your time here, but really quickly before we do get into the video, if you're new here to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Also turn on the post notifications and like this video. Trying to put out as much content as I can. So doing all that really helps me out, helps the channel out, and it's something that I would really appreciate. And of course, with that out of the way, let's go and jump right into this video. Starting off with what I wore on Wednesday. That one was Abercrombie & Fitch Authentic. So this was a fragrance release this year, and when it came out, there was a little bit of hype going around it, mostly in the Facebook groups. People were comparing it to fragrances like Elysium and things like that, so it was getting a little bit of talk. And I have done a full review on this scent that you can check out for more information. This one is also available on my website, chaosfragrances.com. And to kind of give you my thoughts on this scent, it's nice, but I don't think it's necessarily worth picking up for everyone. The performance is just so bad, and really, it just doesn't smell unique enough to really even make it worth it. I mean, performance isn't everything, but at least if a fragrance is somewhat unique and different, if it performs bad, it will make it, somewhat worth picking up. But in this case here, it's not all that unique, and the performance is really just laughable. So really, in my personal opinion, a pretty solid letdown here with this scent. I really was hoping that it would be a little bit better. Looking at the notes, it looked really good. And it doesn't smell too awfully bad, but this scent just doesn't hold up. And I mentioned this in my review already, but I'm really hoping that Abercrombie & Fitch revamps this fragrance, maybe comes out with an eau de parfum version of it, which makes it a little bit more stronger, maybe just a little bit darker. It just gives the DNA a little bit of, a twist and makes it a little bit more unique while having some more depth and some better performance. Basically just taking this original eau de toilette authentic fragrance and just making it better. Now, there's no guarantee of whether or not they're going to do that. I really hope they would, because I really do think that this has potential. But right here in its current state with this scent, I would recommend to just not buy it and just pass this one up and save that money that you would take buying this and buy something else. If they can do what they did with First Instinct, where it's an eau de toilette, smells great, performs okay, and makes it into an eau de parfum, which smells great and performs, really good, that would be nice. But again, there's no guarantees. That's what I wore on Wednesday, Authentic. On Thursday, I went with Pineapple Vintage Intense Gold and Napoleon, Emperor Napoleon. So this was a day where I was testing both of these fragrances out. Had one on one arm and the other on the other arm, just testing them throughout the day just to prepare for my reviews. The Pineapple Vintage Intense Gold review is already out, and the Napoleon review I've already recorded, and that should be out within a day or two. I had a really fun time wearing both of these on Thursday. I loved testing them both out, and during that day of testing, I really realized which one I liked more. And a little spoiler alert, it is gold. I really love this one. Actually, and I prefer this one over the regular Pineapple Vintage Intense. Really, really well done stuff here. Had some comments on my review saying that, one, that I'm a shill, which, I get that comment every time I review something Parfums Vintage. So that's no surprise. Number two, that it's just redundant and doesn't make sense, which again, I was kind of expecting to get that. But in my personal opinion, really try this one out for yourself. If you don't want to take my word for it, that's perfectly fine. I'm not lying to you guys because I'm not getting paid by them to say any of this stuff. If I don't like the scent, I'm not going to give it a good review. And on top of that, there's no one saying that I have to review these scents. It's not like Parfums Vintage is holding a gun up to my head. I review the stuff that I want to review. And finally, I had someone say that I was struggling to review these scents and that I was making stuff up, calling this one a sweeter version of the original Intense. And again, it comes down to the fact that I don't have to review it. In fact, when I was going into trying this fragrance, I wasn't expecting it to be that different, which is something that I did mention in that video. And I was fully expecting to either not review it at all or just make a review saying that it's pretty similar to the original Intense and that it's not necessarily worth a purchase. But here in this case, gold really impressed me, and therefore I relayed my opinion onto you guys, which again is just my personal opinion. So I just wanted to get that out of the way. Again, I know I'm going to get these comments every time, and at this point it's not really something that bothers me or gets under my skin anymore. I just wanted to clarify for some of you out there that, I don't have to review these scents. I do it because I want to. So Thursday was a fun day of testing, wearing both of these new scents. Again, review on this one is already up. Review on this one will be coming out soon. Moving on to Friday here, I went with Versace Man Eau Fresh. So this scent, I don't really have too much to say about this one. I've talked about this one a ton on the channel. This is really, in my opinion, one of the best citrus fragrances out there in terms of designer scents for men. It's got this nice citrus and starfruit combination with some nice musk in the base. Really, really nice, pleasant, and offensive fragrance. And it's one that if I had to describe it with one word, I would just say it smells like summer. I mean, it really does. Of course, we are getting to the end of summer here, moving into fall. And while I am ready for kind of a change in fragrances and stuff like that, moving into some sweeter stuff, there's no denying the fact that I am going to miss my summer fragrances that I wear specifically for summer. And in this case, Versace Man Eau Fresh is one of them. This is the one that I keep just for summertime because it works the best in summer. So, my time with this one is now limited because we are getting to the end of summer here. So I am going to miss this one a little bit when I have to stash this one away for the winter, but I still have some time to wear it a few more times. So that's what I wore on Friday. Really solid one, Versace Man Eau Fresh. On Saturday, I went with Chanel Allure Homme Sport. So this one is a classic, and it's one that has really been around for a while now. This one kind of smells a little bit like Versace Pour Homme for anyone who has smelled that scent. And they are pretty similar with some minor differences here and there. Versace Pour Homme is a little bit more bright and citrusy overall, whereas Allure Homme Sport, this one kind of goes in a little bit more of a creamy aldehydic direction. So really it's up to you in terms of what you want. Of course, price difference is going to be the main one there, being that this is just Chanel. Not going to be found at discounters and is normally going to be way more expensive compared to Versace, which you can find for around $40 or $50 for 100 ml online. I do love this one though, and I actually ended up swapping out my bottle of Versace Pour Homme a while back just because I didn't wear it as much, and I do for the most part prefer this one. But honestly, both scents are fantastic, and this DNA is one that is completely timeless. It works great now, it worked great few years ago, and it's going to continue to work great for years to come. Highly recommend this stuff, whether it be this one or Versace Pour Homme. Just a really, really mass-pleasing, easy-to-wear, dumb reach type of fragrance. Smells incredible, and it's just a really good one to have in the collection. On Sunday, I went with Tom Ford Costa Azzurra. So this is a really nice, unique marine scent. Not a whole lot of fragrances out there smell like this one, which is something that really captivated me, and it's one that I really was curious about for a while, and just looking at the notes and everything and reading reviews and stuff like that, I kind of had a feeling I was going to like it. But when I actually got this stuff and smelled it, I was really impressed, and this one really blew me away. This one's got like a musky, like citrusy type of feel. It is a unisex fragrance, but in my personal opinion, goes more in the masculine direction more so than feminine. Has a very like upscale, like dressy type of smell, which again is different for marine type of fragrances, which are generally more casual smelling, right? When I think of like a marine scent, I think of going to the beach, just wearing like a t-shirt and like swim trunks and flip-flops and sunglasses and stuff like that. That's normally kind of my typical thought, just like going to the beach and wearing a marine scent. But with this one kind of smells more for like a nice dinner on the beach, or like a nice evening out on the resort or something like that. Something where you're going to be a little bit more dressed up in the evening and just smelling, more luxurious. That's really what I get from this scent. And honestly, my favorite from the Tom Ford Blue bottle line of fragrances from their private blend. This one, in my opinion, is the most unique, and in terms of performance and everything, just overall really good scent. There is the aqua version, which I actually included in my video on fragrances that I recommend not to buy anymore. So for me personally, I still recommend you just go with the original instead. Of course, the aqua is a little bit cheaper, so if you are kind of on a budget, you can go for that one instead. You can pick up a 100 ml for really good price. And again, just because it wasn't in that video doesn't mean it's bad, but just when it comes down to personal preference, my personal opinion, this one's got just a little bit more depth, and I like it a little bit better. So this is the one I prefer. On Monday, I went with Bulgari Aqua Atlantique. So of course, another classic here for me this summer. I've really put the hurts to this one, fellas. If you look at this stuff, we are getting pretty close to the end here on this bottle. which is pretty crazy. I did decant a little bit, but this is mostly all just from me wearing it. I typically go with 2 to 3 sprays per wearing. Sometimes I'll go with 4, just depending on if I'm going to be outdoors or indoors or whatever, kind of change up my spray routine. But this stuff, again, another one that has killed it for me this summer, and it's one that is really going to stay pretty high in my summer rotation for years to come. I can't recommend this one enough if you're looking for a nice aquatic scent but still want to maintain with that blue genre of fragrances, so you have something that's, versatile, mass-pleasing, good compliment getter and good performance, but something with just a little bit of a unique twist on top of all that. Highly recommend you check out Aqua Atlantique. This stuff is phenomenal. This is probably one of my favorite blue fragrances out there. And finally, on to today, my scent of the day for Tuesday. This one was Issey Miyake Shade of Lagoon. So this one is, again, another new release and pretty recent acquisition into my collection. I've done a full review on this one that you can check out as well. Just to kind of give you a quick summary, this one is kind of, again, in a similar vibe to Aqua Atlantique, being that it is, like a blue fragrance with that ambroxan and citrus, but with a marine aquatic touch. This one smells nothing like Atlantique, so you don't have to worry about it there. If you already own Atlantique, it's not going to be redundant to own this one as well. Really nice scent though, kind of has a little bit of a floral component as well, and pretty unique overall for what it is. Not a bad scent with good performance and good compliment factor. That's what I wore today. So guys, that's basically it for this video. That is what I wore for the past week. Let me know down in the comments which fragrances you guys wore, and that's pretty much going to be it for this one, guys. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like down below. Also, don't forget to subscribe and turn on post notifications so you don't miss a night post. And that's going to be it for me, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.